Hello, hello, welcome. I got a story for you. Yeah, I got a story for you. If you look at the title, it's probably pretty obvious what I'm going to be talking about. So let's just jump right into it. But before we get too far into it, I want to give a little bit of a backstory. And to start off, I actually want to give a little bit of the character's backstory. They got turned into a werewolf. Now, werewolves in this world is a little bit homebrewed and operates more like a traditional werewolf. And so, to protect his family, so he had a wife and three children. To protect his family, he decided to go off and search for a cure for his lycanthropy. And in doing so is how he met with the rest of the party, and they've been out adventuring as he's been searching for a cure. And along these adventures, at one point they come to a random wizard tower in the middle of a forest that they had to go through. And of course, like any adventures, they had to go and investigate. And as they started approaching the tower, two stone defenders popped out of nowhere, it seemed, and blocked their path. And again, like traditional adventurers, they viewed it as a challenge and decided to fight these stone defenders. During the fight, a wizard came out of this tower and joined in with the fight. One of the players' pets ended up getting killed, another one of the players got dropped pretty low and almost died. But they were able to win the fight, and when the wizard saw that victory was he was going to lose. Victory wasn't going to happen for him. He decided to get out of there, and he successfully teleports away. So after teleporting away, the players search his tower. They find a couple cool magical items, most of them not too important. But one of them is quite important for the story, as it was this old grimoire looking book. And each of the players tried to read it. When they opened it up, they had to make a wisdom saving throw. Each of them failed. They took a bit of damage and they weren't able to read the books. Now, what they didn't know is when they failed their wisdom saving throw, the wizard was able to see some of their memories and learn some things about them. And then to rub a little salt in the wound, they destroyed the tower when they left. They had some blasting powder and whatnot and decided to just blow up his tower because, well, why not, I suppose. Oh, they also threw the book into a fire, and instead of burning up, it kind of just disappeared. Now, fast forward about 4 months in real life, a couple weeks into the game, they haven't heard anything about this wizard. They just finished a big battle, and Rollin, who is the character that was looking for a cure for his lycanthropy, he's kind of found a way to control it. So he's gonna go meet up with his family. As he arrives to the village, it had clearly just been attacked somewhat. He found out that just the day before, the wizard had come into the town and tried to kidnap his family. His oldest son tried to stop the wizard and was killed just right there on the spot. Bam, kid's dead. Oldest kid is dead. The younger two kids and his wife were kidnapped, and he vanished with the three of them. The players successfully revived the oldest child, but Rollin was determined to get his family back. So he went in search for any clues to find this wizard, while also finding some protection for his son. So after searching for a little bit, they found some leads. One of them took them to this old abandoned building, and upon entering, they see the wizard. With the expectation that this would be a challenging fight, they used arguably more resources than required to win it. And as they had basically defeated the wizard, he told them, "You have until sunrise to get to the abandoned chapel south of the city if you ever want to see your family again." And then he turned into a pillar of snow and instantly started melting. Props to the player who role-played this exceptionally well without even resting, though there wasn't really much time to rest. Instantly took off to the abandoned chapel to the south of the city, as this also happened to be the same chapel that he and his wife had gotten married at. So they take off and arrive at around well into the night, maybe around 1 o'clock in the morning. As they arrive at the chapel, Rollin pushes the door open, and it lets out a nice creak as it just opens up. After it opens up, he sees a woman. forgot what he saw for a second. He sees a woman standing at the other end of the chapel who slowly looks up at him. And then he makes out the rotting face of his wife as she's now some sort of undead creature. She lets out a spine-crawling screech as she draws a silvered longsword, which, as I noted before, werewolves work more traditionally in this campaign, and so they're actually vulnerable, or so he's actually vulnerable to silver. The players engage in combat. Some of the others came in from a different entrance to try to flank, but as they flanked, the youngest child went full like demon kid off of that Legion movie and jumped on one of their shields and started like stabbing at them while Rollin was trying to fight his wife. The problem is that Rollin couldn't bring himself to try to hurt his wife, and abandoning them was definitely not an option. And so he was stuck handicapping himself trying to just restrain and disarm her. And just after engaging in combat with his wife, his daughter also appeared out of nowhere behind Rollin, and quickly, with weapons that he is vulnerable to, they were able to take him down. And as soon as he fell, all three of them instantly jumped on him and started eating his body. At this sight, one of the players, a barbarian, dropped his magical glaive where he stood in shock and turned around and fled in fear. It was a pretty horrific scene. The other two players, feeling quite outmatched, quickly did the same thing and abandoned Rollin to being eaten by his family. So yeah, that's it. That's the story. It was pretty fun. It was definitely the most creative way I've ever killed a player. That's actually the last player that I've killed. This only happened a few weeks ago. So what do you guys think? Was that a cruel way to end a character? And keep in mind, there was a way for him to succeed. It was just very challenging. And he did say that he was happy that it didn't end with him surviving and his family being dead. I think all of us agree that that would have been the worst ending to this story. It's definitely the most satisfying player kill I've had. I hate those random ones where it's just like an encounter where they roll really poorly, and it was like, I guess you're dead now. But anyway, yeah, that's the story. If you enjoyed it, give the video a thumbs up, and I hope that you've had a great week, and I will catch you next time.